First ride, Ducati's Diavel V4 defies categorization. When does a former Cycle World 10 Best winning cruiser become something other than a cruiser? Ducati's Diavel has always been right at the bleeding edge of the segment. Ducati has called it a power cruiser, at least in its communications with the motorcycling public. Behind closed doors in Borgo Panigale, it's called Mega Monster. After a short but intense first ride in Abu Dhabi, that's the most apt description of the 2023 Diavel V4. So what is it then? It's mega confusing, in the best way. All new for 2023, the Diavel V4 is the fourth Ducati model to get a V4 power plant and the second to use the non-Desmo Gran Turismo V4. With this new power plant comes new chassis architecture and more electronic rider aids. Increased engine performance, better handling, less weight, and stronger brakes take the Diavel V4 from the realm of a power cruiser and into a space that is more that of a sporty standard or naked bike, yet there are some bits that keep it rooted in the segment, such as mid-mounted foot controls that touch down at 41 degrees of lean in the corner, a 240mm wide rear tire, and a longish 62.7-inch wheelbase. But a crack of the throttle in sport mode, a tug on the front brake lever, and a lean into a corner screams, this is not a cruiser. Evolution of the Gran Turismo V4. In 2018, Ducati moved away from its tradition of V-twin power for its superbikes to the 90-degree V4 Desmosedici Stradale in the Panigale V4, creating one of the best superbikes of all time. Shortly thereafter, the Street Fighter V4 elevated the naked bike arms race with the same engine. Then in 2021, Ducati's high-performance adventure tourer got the V4 treatment as the Multistrada V4. The Gran Turismo V4 power plant in this machine moved even further from tradition, using coil springs to close the valves rather than a camlobe-operated desmodromic finger. This allows the Gran Turismo to offer long service intervals, 37,000 miles until the first valve inspection, while still achieving high horsepower and torque output. Now, the Diavel V4 gets the Gran Turismo treatment with a short, yet significant, list of changes. New camshafts and valve timing give the Diavel slightly more torque, 93 pound-feet versus 92, 1000 RPM sooner than the Multi. Horsepower is 2 less at 168 and is achieved 750 RPM farther up the tatch at 10,750 RPM. First gear is shorter as well. Contributing to the slight variation in power are the obviously different-shaped airbox and Renault launcher-inspired quad-outlet exhaust system of the Diavel V4. In comparison to the V-twin it replaces, the Gran Turismo engine is 11 pounds lighter, 3.3 inches shorter in length, 3.7 inches shorter in height, and 0.8 inch wider. This allows for a more compact Diavel than what was achievable with the second generation. Along with the Gran Turismo comes a slew of electronic rider aids that include 4 ride modes, 2 power levels, 3-level lean-sensitive traction control, wheelie control, and launch control. There are also 3 levels of ABS that includes a track mode that turns off rear anti-lock. All of this is controlled via lighted switch gear and a 5-inch full-color TFT. Handy illustrations show the effects of each selection as you tailor the ride modes to your liking. All-new Diavel V4 chassis. Just like all the other V4-powered models, the Diavel V4 now uses an aluminum monocoque frame section mounted to the engine. 10 pounds have been carved from the chassis, most of it coming from the replacement of the steel trellis frame. Every angle and dimension of the Mega Monster is more compact and sharper than the first and second generations. At the front of the 62.7-inch wheelbase, a Marzocchi 15mm fork is adjustable for spring preload as well as compression and rebound damping and has 4.7 inches of travel. On the other end is a single-sided swing arm that lets the diamond-cut 17-inch wheel stroke through 5.7 inches of travel. The sack shock is fully adjustable and features a threaded spring preload adjustment. Rake sits between sport and cruiser territory at 26 degrees, and trail is on the shorter for a cruiser side at 4.4 inches. It's long and low with a 31.1-inch seat height, but now you feel like you sit atop the Diavel rather than in it. Track-worthy performance? Another wrinkle in this mystery of what exactly the Diavel has become is Ducati's location choice for the riding introduction. Jebel Hafit is the only mountain in Abu Dhabi. It climbs 3,900 feet from the desert floor in just 7.3 miles. In that distance, 60 turns of pavement better than most racetracks await. Ducati closed the road for 6 blasts up and down, claiming it wanted to showcase the handling and power of the Diavel. This was more track day than a leisurely ride through the mountains. Locations of press launches are carefully chosen to communicate what the manufacturer wants you to know about a motorcycle. Ducati wanted it to be crystal clear this is a sporting motorcycle, not a stoplight-to-stoplight bruiser like most power cruisers. Perhaps I should have brought leathers. Thumbing the illuminated starter button cracks the V4 to life with a snap, a familiar sound if you've ridden the Desmosedici Straightdale or Gran Turismo. After the initial warm-up, the Diavel settles into an idle with a bit more boom than the multi as Ducati's extended cylinder deactivation system kicks in. During certain conditions such as idling at stoplights and low output running below 4,000 RPM, the 2 rear cylinders shut down for improved heat management and increased fuel economy. A change in engine note is the only cue it's working. There's no perceptible transition in vibration, engine feel, or throttle response. As for engine heat, ambient air temps were in the mid-70s with a light breeze, not a taxing environment in terms of heat management, and all was comfortable on my lower extremities. A quick left turn out of our mountaintop resort onto a straightaway gives the first clue of the Diavel V4's potency. Even in the less aggressive touring ride mode, the Mega Monster rockets down the road with impressive acceleration. The long chassis does just as much as the wheelie control to keep the front tire connected to the pavement. Towing the shift lever with the throttle to the stop, the Diavel easily and quickly changes gears. Second, third, fourth. Triple digits are achieved. Ducati claims a 0-60 time of just under 3 seconds. At the end of that straight, the first corner gives you just a taste of how far the Diavel reaches outside of the cruiser segment. Turn-in is light and quick while not being twitchy. As the pace increases and familiarity grows, the Diavel V4 snaps side to side like a standard or naked bike. Once on the side of the tire, the Diavel is stable and asks for more speed and more lean angle. And eventually, when the mid-mounted foot pegs touch down at 41 degrees of lean, you're hustling, really hustling. More than a few sport bike pilots are going to be surprised to find the Diavel V4 flashing the brights behind them. Move over please, heavy artillery coming through. Despite the bars being 20 mm farther back than on the previous model, you still sit slightly forward of vertical. There's a comfortable bend to the knees as a result of the 20 mm roomier seat, and your feet rest on generously sized foot pegs. It's relaxed but aggressive, not slouchy. Jebel Hafit's road surface was so nice it was tough to fully evaluate the suspension. Bumps or broken pavement are non-existent, save one tight uphill corner with some ripped pavement surely formed by multi-million-dollar supercars laying down near 4-digit horsepower. What can be assessed is the front-to-rear balance of the Marzocchi and Sachs combo working in that long wheelbase, which is excellent. Even an overly aggressive squeeze on the superbike spec and supremely strong Brembo Stylema brakes doesn't have the front diving too hard. Most of the time on this momentous mountain road was spent in sport mode. In its 168 horsepower default setting, power is delivered strongly without any wheel spin. Dial the TC to the least amount of intervention and you can feel a slight slide when crossing tar snakes on the gas or when blasting out of a corner. Fueling in every setting is spot on and without any hint of snatchiness. Urban mode cuts the power to 115 horsepower and adds the middle TC setting, a significant cut that makes the most ham-fist maneuvers drama-free. Rain clamps down TC to the max along with the 115 horsepower power setting. It works, but it's dry here in Abu Dhabi. Full tilt boogie is the way to go if you find yourself at the entrance to Jebel Hafit.
Thanks for watching. Drop a like. Leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.